Hey friends, in today's video, Raul from India was wondering if we could upload a video for beginners. So here are 7 easy IELTS Writing Task 1 general tips to help you write the perfect letter. If you want to know about these tips, then continue watching because I will explain the difference between all the different letter types you may see, and I'll provide you with 7 steps you should take when you are given your IELTS Writing Task 1 general for you to write the perfect letter. Last but not least, I will give you homework at the end of this video where you will be practicing these 7 IELTS Writing Task 1 general tips that you learn in this video, and I will provide you with feedback on one of these IELTS Writing Task 1 questions you decide to do for homework. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Ms. Wafa and I'm a certified English language teacher in Canada. So let's get right into the video. So in the IELTS Writing Task 1 general question, you will actually be given a scenario. This could relate to an invitation you have to respond to. Maybe you are going to apply for a job posting that you are interested in. And what you need to do is you need to write a letter within 20 minutes. So there are 3 different letter types you may be asked to write, one of them. So these range from a semi-formal letter, a formal letter, or an informal letter. So depending on the letter type, you need to be able to identify what kind of letter you are writing, and you need to ensure that you are able to use the right vocabulary throughout your letter to show the examiner that you actually understand that this is a semi-formal letter compared to a formal letter. We will get more into detail about the different letter types and the different types of vocabulary later on in the video. And just remember, the IELTS Writing Task 1 general letter must be written within 20 minutes. Since you may be given one of 3 of the different letter types in the IELTS writing section, you must be able, once again, to use the correct vocabulary throughout your letter. So let's look at some IELTS Writing Task 1 vocabulary words. You would have to write 4 formal letters. So for instance, if you have to write a formal letter to your boss or manager asking for some vacation time off, or you have to write to a manufacturer or company complaining about a product you have bought. Maybe it came out to be broken, or you're dissatisfied with the product. Or you have to write to an airline explaining that you missed your connecting flight. Or perhaps you may write to a sales agent, like to buy a home, explaining your requirements and what type of home you are looking for. Finally, one last reason you would have to write a formal letter is maybe you saw a job posting that you are looking to apply to, so you are writing to the manager, letting him know your interest. So next, let's look at informal letters. When you write an informal letter, you are writing to somebody you are very close to. This could be your sister or a friend you really share lots of personal information with. You feel a bond with them. So let's take a look at some phrases and vocabulary words that will help you identify if your letter needs to be written in an informal manner. So the first way is you need to write to your best friend telling her you cannot make it to the camping trip she invited you to. And next is you need to write to your aunt who wants to know if you can make it to her anniversary party. Or you need to write to a coworker letting them know you want to plan a dinner outing with them. So when I say coworker, guys, this coworker, if you are writing an informal letter to them, that means this coworker is very close to you. you have a close relationship with them, so you are writing an informal letter to them. However, if it's a coworker that you don't have much in common with, they would fall under semi-formal letters. So definitely keep that in mind. And last but not least, writing to your father, telling him you need help with your tuition money for school. This would also fall under an informal letter. So a semi-formal letter is usually written to somebody you know, but you don't share much information with, such as your landlord or a coworker you are not too close with, or a neighbor you are complaining about. So these are certain times you may be required to write. A semi-formal letter is when you are asking your neighbor if they could receive a delivery package for you, or you are complaining about a neighbor downstairs, or you are writing to a restaurant to let them know that you were very pleased with their service. So guys, if you guys are looking for IELTS Writing Task 1 practice material, then definitely check out my link up above, where I have found a website that is an amazing resource for you to prepare and practice how you can write IELTS Writing Task 1 general letters. Definitely take a look at this video up above, because I think it will really help you prepare for the IELTS Writing Task 1 general section. So now let's take a look at the 7 tips that I can give you to write the perfect IELTS Writing Task 1 general letter. So these tips should be followed in order when you are immediately given your question, to ensure that you can finish at the 20-minute mark, guys. So step 1 of the IELTS Writing Task 1 general tips is that you need to identify if your letter is formal, semi-formal, or informal. If you are not sure what type of vocabulary words belong in each letter type, then check out my video up above. So the second tip I have is that once you identify your letter type, then you need to spend 1 minute only to brainstorm and come up with ideas you are going to discuss throughout your letter. I highly recommend that you make sure you do this step of outlining and brainstorming your ideas before writing your letter, because you will save tons of time of not having to think of ideas while you are writing your letter. Rather, you already know what your letter is going to be about, and you know what points you are going to cover, because you wrote 1 or 2 words describing what you are going to include in your letter. So guys, make sure that you are able to outline your letter prior to actually writing it. If you are not sure how you can outline or how to go about outlining and brainstorming ideas in your letter, check out my video up above. I have a video of a step-by-step guide of how you can outline and brainstorm your ideas quickly within 1 minute. So the third tip I have is, after you write your outline, the third tip is that you need to start writing your introduction to your letter. The introduction should include the purpose of your letter and should only be within 2 to 3 sentences maximum. So tip 4 is that you need to write your first body paragraph. The first body paragraph should answer the first question that you are being asked. This paragraph should include your first main idea as well as 2 supporting ideas that you jotted down in your outline in the previous steps. You should make sure that this paragraph is only 3 to 4 sentences maximum. And the 5th tip I have is that you can write your second body paragraph. In your second body paragraph, you should include the second main idea with the 2 following supporting ideas that you wrote down, and you should note that this paragraph should also only be 3 to 4 sentences maximum. The 6th tip I have for you is that in the third body paragraph, you need to discuss the third question the examiner is asking you, And you need to write about the third main idea that you had jotted down in your brainstorming plan in the previous step with the two supporting ideas. This paragraph should also be only 3 to 4 sentences max. And tip 7 is, now that you wrote most of your letter, you must write a conclusion. Your conclusion should also include only 3 sentences maximum. So now that you have learned about the 7 IELTS Writing Task 1 general tips, I want to give you homework. Here are 2 IELTS Writing Task 1 questions, and your homework is, after this video, I want you to choose one of these IELTS Writing Task 1 questions that I provided you, and I want you to practice the 7 steps that were discussed in this video. Then I want you to write your answers in the comment box down below, and I will provide you with feedback on certain areas that I think you need to improve on. So what is your homework? Your homework is to practice these 7 steps and to write the answer right in the comment box down below. So guys, I hope you liked this video. I tried to make it as simple as possible, tried to break it down as easy as possible for you to understand how you can write the perfect letter to score a high band in your IELTS Writing Task 1 letter. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I put out content every Friday to help you in all the different parts of the IELTS exam. And don't forget to check out my website at eslwords.com, where I have written hundreds of different articles with tips and strategies of how you can score a high band in all the different parts of the IELTS test. And before I sign off, guys, I'm going to leave you with this video up above where I discuss the IELTS Writing Task 1 in more detail for you to get a better idea of the different letter types and the vocabulary that you can use